I didn't think, I was thinking,
Fourth, I think Stretch said.
how did you do on your,
Each team did a little over $600.
shut up. Well, that's way better than I did.
That's because I'm cuter.
Must have been.
That's because I'm cuter.
A smoky grill.
The smoky grill. Excellent.
Daisy Dukes.
It's Daisy Dukes.
It was worth it then. I felt bad dumping it on you.
No, it was good.
Good.
No, I had a good time.
It's nice,
fun.
isn't it? Like, it's fun people to talk to. I enjoy it. I just wasn't available.
Oh, you can write it on there.
No, Jennifer said that it was you and Louise also had scheduled in
Yep.
for Saturday, and it turned out.
Yep.
That's
was a
totally
sweet
fine.
day.
We'll do
Everybody
the next
went,
line.
huh?
Yeah. I know my parents were gonna go and Dad said, oh, we can't go on Saturday because we have a car show. And I was
I'm
like,
sorry?
Dad, that's on Sunday.
No, that wasn't me. That was the.
Top for people
office.
to
I came
flip
out just
that.
like. Charlie's gonna be here for the chamber. I told him like 6:15 if he was running late.
Okay.
And then, here we go. Good.
Okay, 6 o'clock. I call the meeting to order. I'll please rise for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Christina's got the roll done.
Yep.
And we need to approve the agenda.
I'll motion to approve the agenda.
Motion
All second.
and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Hearing none. And the consent agenda. All items under the consent agenda will be handled in one motion unless someone wishes to remove an item for further discussion.
A motion to approve the consent agenda.
Do I have a second?
All second.
Any discussion on it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we do have someone for the Blackduck Forum this evening who would like to express some concerns. Yeah, it's supposed to be everybody gets 3 minutes, but we'll just try to keep it reasonable.
Okay.
And nothing, we're not going to act on anything tonight, at this time, just so that you're understanding that. We're just here to listen to what you have to say, and we will get you, it will probably end up.
Like I said, there's four other people down there that are handicapped.
If you could state your name for the record too, please, sir.
You know, my name's Donald E. Biggenthaler.
And you live at the apartments?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been living down there since January. I moved from Ohio. Why I came here, because my daughter lives here.
Okay.
She don't live here in town. She lives over by Pinewood. Been here about 16 years.
And the problem with the issue you're having with the city right now is?
Well, I don't know if anybody's told you how rough it is. By the time you start out down here to where it first starts, on the pathway and go all the way, I mean, as far as I've been, it's clear out to the storage unit. There's at least 4, possible 5 real rough spots. Some of them are gapped open about that wide, about that deep. makes it a little rough to go over to this.
And we're talking about the bike trail.
The bike path, yeah.
Okay.
You guys, I guess, call it pathway. In Ohio, we call it regular bike path. Same thing.
And earlier you said that you were wondering about how a pathway could work from in between our
Yeah.
current bike path to the apartment buildings or to the street.
Well, there's a little offset right there off the parking lot.
Yep.
And when it rains hard, it gets real muddy. Of course, you know, we haven't had enough rain to have that happen. But I don't know what you can do. I don't know if you have to talk to the owners and see if they could go with the city over to do it. I don't know. I tried to get the other ones to come down and voice their opinion, but nobody wanted to do it.
I think I know a couple of the other people that use them.
I'm sure you know Milton.
I know Milton. I do.
There's another guy named Bob. He's not originally from here. But he's got health issues. He has a bad heart. Doctor put a port in him. And he can't drive no more. The doctor took his driver's license away. But the only way he can get around on that scooter or ride with Milton.
All right. We've,
And there's
Did you have
one
any-
lady out of all of them. Her name's Kathy. I can't tell you all the last names.
and that's fine. But was there any other concerns that you had about the bike path itself? You just want to make sure you're safe. What you wanted to have said, you've said.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
I would say we're all under advisement then. Thank you. That will take us down to first.
Now, one of the guys came down there with a bobcat a while back and tried to do something with all that excess dirt and everything. He kind of made a drainage to run off of that if it rained hard enough and go over toward that little woods. That's about all he did.
Okay. So we'll be moving on here in our agenda. The ordinance amendment first reading.
Okay, so in your packet is ordinance 2021-01 revising section 330-04 entitled duties of the administration ordinance. The two areas of note that are being amended are letter F and letter I. In F, what is being amended is that the word all is being exchanged for the word administrative person, and that's in reference to the personnel. And then in letter I, there's antiquated language in letter I, so from everything on the comma is going to be removed. So it'll only state work closely with the department heads to ensure that such personnel and other city employees receive adequate opportunities for training to improve their knowledge and skills. And that is all. Does anybody want me to read the entire ordinance?
I have read the entire ordinance, but if
Does the public want me to read the entire ordinance? It's only a page and a half. Max, do you want me to?
under
read the entire-
under the first reading, Christina, we will read it.
Okay, good. Sounds good. That's your first reading. The second reading will be in September, and that will be the final.
And that will be our final reading. Perhaps then I'll let you, then
Then I'll read the whole thing.
you can read it.
How's
all.
that? Okay.
All right. Reports of committees and staff, and we have Misty here, right, from the beach committee.
Are you ready for me?
I am ready for your,
Okay.
what you got to say.
Just an update on the beach, I guess, is, the septic tank was put in by, I think I told you guys that last time, from, Bemidji Sewer and Water Works. He donated the tank and donated his time tanking for us, and we ordered all the interior, for the restroom. Mike and Christina helped put that order in, and I have all that stuff in now. And Brian Pierce is going to be building it. Just the restroom right now. And I have my order put in up at Northwoods Lumber with a bid that still needs to kind of be finalized yet, because we had to take a few things out, add a few things that will be built out of concrete block is what we planned right now. So, I don't know when it's gonna be done. It's kind of up to him when he has time to get to it. It was hard to find a carpenter, so.
And that's just for the restroom.
Just the restroom this year.
And
It's been
then-
kind of a slow go. The committee, I don't know, we haven't met very much, and it's just kind of been it kind of dwindled down a little bit. It was really hard to find a carpenter and find the people to put this stuff in and get it going. I felt like taking on the pavilion and the restroom at the same time right now was gonna be a little bit too much than anybody really wanted to do. So restroom this year, and then we're hoping with money left over, pavilion would be next on our list. Hoping that we don't have to do much more for restoring the sand after this winter, because it did erode quite a bit, and we're not really sure what we're gonna do to try to rectify that yet. But so restroom and pavilion next spring.
Does anybody have any questions for,
Where is this money coming from?
It was all donations, basically,
And a couple, and some grants.
in a grant.
So this isn't the original stuff from Landon.
We already used the Blandon grant last summer to get the beach made.
Yeah,
But the remaining between Blandon, Beltrami Electric Roundup, Beltrami County Community Development Grant, and private donations, that's where all the funding for this beach have come from.
so there's enough money to build
The restroom.
the restroom,
Yeah,
shower
we're-
house deal or whatever.
It's just a restroom.
Just
It
a
literally,
restroom.
there's no water to it or anything. It's just a 8x8 building with what do you call it?
Yeah.
A unisex one-stall restroom?
Yes.
Yes.
a pit toilet?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the word. I didn't know how to say that word. Yeah, it's a little bit bigger though, like, so if you needed to take your kid in there and like change clothes or do something like that, there's a little wiggle room in there, so you could, and hopefully it stays nice enough so they can go in there, and change their clothes and that sort of thing.
But it'll be.
Still primitive.
Yep, it'll be it's wide enough to be ADA accessible. It's important to note that, like Misty stated, the Bemidji Sewer and Water Works donated the tank and all the labor to install this. And unbeknownst to us, wasn't cheap. So we're extremely thankful for the outpour of the community to get the beach to where it even is. We haven't had to spend any taxpayers' money on anything.
And I would like to say too, that the Bemidji Sewer and Water, aren't they are Blackduck based?
Yeah, they do
Yep,
right
they
on.
live on the pass road and
On the
they're
pass road.
chamber members.
But everybody says, here Bemidji
I know.
and things.
Yeah, he bought that.
But,
You know,
Yeah, and I believe Brian Pierce, he's also local. He lives up by the 10 Mile. He will also contract with JPHI to do the finishing plumbing stuff on that. And then I think I've had a few complaints and I've talked to Mike. Eventually, I was waiting for someone to say it. There will be a garbage can hopefully down there at some point. It does say pack it in, pack it out on the signs. People are supposed to bring their garbage in and bring their garbage out, but obviously there is no perfect road for that. But I know we've talked about it a little bit. It's not a high demand or anything like that right now, but we are communicating about getting the garbage cans down there.
great. Really good. Oh, I got it. Thank
Locks it
you.
up at,
Yeah.
we lock it up every night?
Yeah.
No.
They're supposed to be patrolling it. I haven't really talked to anybody to see if they are or not, but Buzz in there every once in a while.
Andy is.
Is he?
Anything else for Misty? Okay. Thank you. Mike, you're up.
All right, guys, well, I will try to make some sense out of what you got in front of you there, looking at the Pine Tree Park stuff. To try to sum it up the best that I can, we are gonna be over where we figured, where we budgeted we were gonna be for our remodel of the shower house bathroom building out there. Essentially, our numbers have come back fully now. From Juleson Plumbing, we've gone up $8,000 there. Some of that was a little bit of oversight on what exactly was needed out there. Some of that was materials going up from when we first started this. Back in, was it 19 or early 20 when we started going with this project. And then we had another increase from Polar Insulating to do our shower walls and our bathroom walls in a macro epoxy versus painting. And that is another $3,800 increase to what we had. So in the grand scheme of things, like I say, we're at these numbers, we're over that original $43,000 that we had thought. So what I'm asking tonight is that my department be allowed to dip into what would be the reserve of Pine Tree Park to get this completed this year before the prices go up anymore. In doing so, that would take the overall value out at Pine Tree Park down to $10,000. We had figured.
Not touching the beach money.
Right. This is, I mean, we'll still function throughout the rest of the year just fine. That money's budgeted there. It would just bring that overall dollar amount that we generally have in there down to a level that it hasn't been at for quite some time. With that said, we would still be getting the money from the county in January, which would be another 11,000. So that would at that point bring the account back to 21,000. And then of course, as soon as the campground opens again next year, we'll have that revenue coming in as well. So you can see some of the numbers that were laid out there. And again, just want clarification if I can go ahead with this and get this done, or if we need to pull the plug halfway through the project.
It's important to know, just as a clarification, that half of this project's already been completed in 2020.
Correct.
Exterior of the estimate, the numbers on this page have already been done. The doors have been ordered, the partitions are ordered, the roof materials are done. North Star Electric did the electrical with the lighting. WD Concrete has already been paid, and that was already paid back in 2020. So what Mike is really asking for is the difference between what was originally estimated to do the entire project and what it is now with the increase from Juleson's and the change from Polar. It is above what he has left in his 2021 budget
And what we budgeted.
and what we budgeted to finish the project this year. But the cash balances of the fund should be able to pay for it all. At the end results, you'll have a shower house and bathrooms that's more acceptable to what the public wants.
Love somewhere that people actually don't mind showering in or cleaning up in.
Are you gonna have flush toilets out there?
No,
No, they'll still be pit toilets. If you want a comparison done, Big Falls did theirs and that project was over $1 million.
Yeah.
So we just don't have that type of funding.
Do you need a motion on this then?
Yes, because it exceeds his budget. Yeah.
So what was the budget?
Initially, when this started, we were at a total of, I believe it's on one sheet that you have there, is 43,678.
You're asking for how much?
And right now, from the calculated numbers that we have, we're gonna go over that by $11,939. If everything stays perfectly on track and we have all our ducks in a row at this point, which I believe we do.
We had just shy of $14,000 to do the project this year, but we need that much more in order to finish it. So it's,
The 25,000 more
No.
dollars,
11,939.
and that's gonna all be done this year.
Yes,
yes,
yes, we, if this goes through, we will be starting work next week.
Needs to be done. It's, no,
Agreed.
totally needs to get done.
and it's important to note that one of the reasons it's not done is because when Mike originally got the bid out for the entire project, we knew we couldn't do it in 1 year. So we did our best to split it into two seasons to make it more affordable for the fund.
And we did get Wayside Rest in there on that too, so on some of that stuff, didn't we?
No,
No,
that
that's
is
the last
something
sheet
that
I
we're gonna
gave you.
talk about right after this.
Okay.
Yep,
No,
yep.
Well, I will go ahead and make the motion for the approval of $11,939 by transferring funds from the reserve fund. to
You
cover the
wouldn't-
cost.
just a point of correction, Jason, you wouldn't need to do any transfers because the Pine Tree Park doesn't have any. It's gonna come out of the cash balances of
Oh,
that
so it's
fund.
already in there? Okay.
Yes,
so
sir.
Strike that. So I'll make the motion for the $11,939 increase
Yes,
Yes.
for the approval for Pine Tree Park improvements.
Got a motion?
I second that.
John does my second. Any further discussion on it, guys? All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Passes.
Can I ask for one request though?
yes, sir,
Can you post video or photos on the website so I can see what it looks like?
absolutely,
I appreciate that.
I want to see too.
absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
The next thing, thank you, by the way, for that, guys, the department appreciates it. The next thing I have is another proposal from Polar. You'll see this is for the Wayside Rest. Oh, that's the wrong one, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
For 3120.
Yeah, I've got a couple different ones here. You have it there. I think I got it for you guys, so. It's been brought to my attention numerous times over the last couple of years, especially again, right after wood carvers here and from some other people, that the floors in the bathroom at the Wayside are in dire need of help. As you can see, the men's room and the women's room are totally different in the flooring, one style, one's not. The tile's been broken, the other stuff is peeling up. It wasn't done properly when it was done, as far as grinding it down, getting to the base layer and then putting the proper coating on it. So I asked Fuller, as long as they were in the area, to give us a quote on it, see what they thought about it. So you can see the quote there. What was that number again, Christina?
3120.
That'd be to come in and do the floors of that Wayside bathroom down there, and that would cove it 4 inches up the wall, which is yet another thing that the Department of Health has really been after us about down there and out at Pine Tree Park, is getting that done. So this is the number that they gave me for doing that while they were up here doing the Pine Tree Park project. With that said, obviously that wasn't something that was budgeted to be done this year. But looking in my budget and trying to figure maybe where I could move a little bit of money around, such as landscape materials for some of the stuff that we were planning on doing this fall down there. I think I can squeeze about 2,000 of that out of what I currently have budgeted. So it would just be that excess money.
1120 more.
Yes, the 1120 that I would be asking to go ahead and take from general fund itself, I believe.
Yep, it'll be in addition to what has already been budgeted to the general fund in that department.
Correct.
Yes.
So I'd be asking for that amount of money to go ahead and get that done as long as they're here and in town.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we could wait and try to
as long as they're
budget
here,
for next year, maybe.
as long as they're here, you can also have them do it. They are,
Save a lot of cost.
when we were in there, wood carvers, and they need to be done. So I make a motion to take from general fund.
Approve the bid.
For 1,100 or 1,120 for the wayside rest renovation.
Motion to second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none passes. Get it done.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
Good things, Mike, good things.
That's really all I have for you guys, other than, maybe just a little, let you know, kind of some of the stuff we're doing out at the park. We're gonna be trying to jack the one north gazebo up pretty soon here and get that straightened out and reblocked if we can. We'll see how that goes. And touching a few other things up here and there. It's been kind of nice that the grass hasn't been growing. It's been letting us get to some other stuff. So other than that, it's kind of business as usual with what we're up to. Anything from any of you for me?
I was talking to the director of with the little kids over there. Head Start, excuse me. And at the wood carvers, and she was telling me that she was looking at the wood chips we had that you would put in, and I said, yeah, them are pretty nice. And she goes, I go, we were supposed to get the same thing that they had gotten there. And she goes, we hate them.
Really?
The rubber.
Okay.
She said they hold moisture, and the kids think about putting them in their mouth. They think they're like bubble gum.
I think they'll do that with the wood chips.
Well, I know, but she goes, they go after it rains or whatever, I mean, for days, they hold moisture.
Sure.
And they're really bad. And I said, well, I'll pass that on to Mike. So,
We appreciate the info.
I told tell you that.
The wood chips seem to be working out real well. I've had a lot of real good compliments on the changes to Wayside Playground and Pine Tree Park Playground. We do have more wood chips because inevitably, they pack down, some will go away. So we're still sitting good with that stuff.
Did that spring horse ever get fixed or?
The frog?
Frog.
Oh, at Pine Tree Park, it got fixed and then it got broke almost immediately.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to weld it.
Yeah, we tried, we tried. I wasn't sure. I had heard that there was some more overly unnecessary horseplay on it to break it again, but. So at some point, we'll have to do something with those, whether we completely replace them or not. My understanding is before I came, there actually used to be multiple at the Wayside and out at Pine Tree Park, and they've all kind of suffered the same fate over the years.
What about this, the top coat that they just put on, the county did? Is that leftover material sitting down there by the garage?
They left us some of what they swept up after they put it down. They left us some, and it's a really fine material, so it's good for some things, but not a whole lot if we're talking about streets other than doing what they do with it. So what we're actually using it for right now is we're putting some of it out on our field road where our irrigators are. We have to be able to get out around there. We have a road that goes right through the center of it. Of course, the irrigators go over the top of that, and it gets wet, and we have multiple low spots that we've been working on over the years trying to fix. So we're putting that as somewhat of a top coat in a few areas that hopefully when it rains or when the irrigators go over them, it doesn't get quite so nasty and we can get through a little bit
I was
better.
just wondering,
Yeah, they left us a little bit of their sweet. I was hoping they were gonna leave us a lot more, but
but yeah,
I'll take what we can get.
right. Anything else for Mike?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Liquor store. See, Shonda's not here, Melissa.
Not too much to report. Sales have actually been good. Construction's going right along. Don't seem to be having too many hiccups or a few things that are still outdated on a few things or pushed aside for outages wise, but they're doing the ceiling in the office and down the hallway. The guys are working on a new addition. And our new pull tab boxes are in. So once these 3 are done, we will switch over to the automatic ones,
Oh, the machines.
the machines, yep. Other than that, we're kind of going forward as we can.
Did I hear you correctly when you said machines, plural?
Yes,
Okay, so that would be 4 boxes?
so there are 2 machines which will hold 4 boxes, so 2 boxes apiece. So yeah, so they have a $1 box and then there's $2. So each machine will hold $1 and then $2.
Nice. Jumped up a box.
Yeah.
Backwoods.
We're working on it. No, everything should be a go for that. We were having an issue with the flooring because we're gonna, obviously the floor's gotta get redone and we're gonna have some bar stuff done. But we were able to push the bar being done to get us through Backwoods. So as that goes forward, everything seems to be going just where we need it to be.
Questions for Melissa? Thank you. Jim. The golf course.
Choosing further down. As everybody knows, the new carts are here and being utilized quite a bit. It seems to be running just fine. A lot of good, great comments about the new carts.
Good.
So, I'm nervous about some of them getting damaged, but nothing's happened yet. But, it's good to see them. Good to see the green hidden somewhere. But,
I see the course is looking a little greener.
while Toro was here, we went around and got a bunch of the valves overhauled. He did some tweaking on all the controllers. So we got things up and running where the irrigation system is running at night. Especially the fairway, the greens I was watering 7 days a week manually. But the fairways weren't getting watered, except when I could during the day. And he had to water around people. But they're up and running, so that helped. And as soon as they were up and running the way they're supposed to be, and I went ahead and put fertilizer down on all the fairways just to give them a kick in the rear end, because we got the Drake Scramble and a few other tournaments coming up. And I think they're looking better already, and they should continue, with the type of fertilizer we put down there. So now we got to mow them.
Speaking of mowers, when I stopped up there was one with a hole in
In the block.
the block.
Yeah. That's the old rock mower that we had.
And we're using the cities
Now,
public works.
we're using that. I talked to Kevin Erpending, and we're looking, I'm looking online also. Probably won't happen this year, but I'm looking for a good used mower to take its place. But we're looking for something with a deck of at least 96 inch wide or wider, just to cut down on the time of mowing. I mean, you know, what we got now is a 58 inch deck and you're mowing 36 acres. So it takes 5 days to mow everything. And you might not always get caught up if you get a little bit of rain and you're playing catch up. And I'm just looking to, you know, try to get us a bigger mower where we can cut down on the mowing time and free that person up to help do some of the other things.
Is this something that we need to ask the golf board in on this to
Yes.
making a recommendation as to what we're gonna do, because we're gonna have to do something.
I would encourage that conversation, yeah.
Okay.
We haven't scheduled another golf board meeting yet. After our last one on Thursday, so we should have that conversation.
Everybody should watch their emails, is what you're saying?
Or your phones.
Or your phone?
Do my best to get something scheduled in another week or so.
Well, yeah, because I don't wanna.
Yep, I don't want to lose focus on
We
it.
can, yeah, we don't wanna lose momentum on this.
Mhm.
We're doing pretty well, I think, and if, the next year, I mean, I understand, I don't wanna pull the trigger on something, jump on it, and end up regretting it. I'd rather, if we get through this year with what we have, I mean, there's not a lot of summer left, I hate to say that.
I wasn't thinking about getting more this year. I said we're looking. It's
Sure.
time to start looking and see what we can find.
And that gives us the winter time to
Exactly.
make a decision on something else, because, yeah, we're not gonna be able to go next year without one, without a rough mower. The one that's out, the one that they're using right now is tired at best.
Those balls, I can buy it.
So if we can get something scheduled, I'd be game for that. Anything else, Jim?
I don't think we've received the packet yet from Toro on
On the wave
On
out?
the pump house
the, yeah.
portion, we can have that conversation when we do. I haven't seen anything.
Yeah, so I mean,
No,
I don't think it's coming in yet.
Okay.
I was hoping it would. I tried to call Phil this afternoon, but he's gone.
Because that's something I thought we were like, if it was in the ballpark, we were gonna try to take care of that this year yet before we, yeah. That was my understanding.
But I'll give him a call. I'll keep trying to get a hold of Phil.
Okay.
All right.
And see where that's at, because I know Jeff was working, putting the package together. And like I said, the bid that we get from them will be everything except for the electricity.
Okay.
Because that's got to be done locally.
All righty. Christina?
so the first thing under the administrator's report is to approve the purchase of the flag retirement drop box. We stated in the work session,
Yeah. that there
Max, you
was
stated the cost was the same, whether it was interior or
Exterior,
exterior.
exterior, yep.
So what your council needs to do is, I would assume, pick your design option and approve the cost. And if memory serves me right, you agreed to take this out of the liquor rent fund. Does that sound right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'll let you guys decide what you want to do.
You guys have a
don't see a preference.
Flag and eagle. The flag and eagle.
They're all kind of.
They're all pretty much the same. Well, you don't have the old,
Yeah, that from the old one, yeah, prior. But yeah, flag and eagle works.
Or the flag and soldier, wasn't there a flag and soldier?
I mean, we're a bird city, so you might as well go with the eagle.
That's what my initial thought was. I thought that-
Yeah,
Somebody make a motion.
yep, but
Motion to approve the 1923-30 for the eagle and flag post,
So
First one.
option two,
option two.
option two.
thank you. Okay,
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Alright.
Aye. Opposed? None passes.
right. And then the next item is a donation request from the Blackduck Area Chamber of Commerce to cover their liability insurance for 2021. I have Lori Lundberg, the treasurer, and President Charlie Anderson present. If anyone has any questions, the request is in your packet.
I don't have any questions.
read that.
It's something we do pretty much every year.
Yes,
It's a,
Motion to approve the $586 insurance package. Insurance is the right word.
something.
it's a donation from the liquor rent fund, Jason,
From the liquor rent fund.
Yep.
Okay.
to cover that.
Hey, I'm gonna second that.
Okay.
Any discussion on that matter? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, passes.
And then letter C is resolution 2021-16, a resolution approving an excluded bingo license for the Blackduck Area Chamber of Commerce. The Chamber of Commerce will be representing the bingo tent at Backwoods Bash this year. And they need council approval to authorize that. And again, Lori and Charlie are both here for any questions. Misty too.
Oh, I still don't play bingo.
Is that in the form of a motion?
I would move to approve resolution number 2021-16. Do I have a second? Any discussion on it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, passes.
Letter D is resolution 2021-17. This is a resolution calling for a public hearing on proposed property tax abatements. This is for the demolition and redevelopment project funding coming from deed to do the redevelopments downtown on Main Street. This needs to be done. We have to actually bond for the grant/loan funding coming from deed in order to accept the money. So we'll have a public hearing on September 7th approving that tax abatement. So I need the resolution approved to call for that. And the 3 parcels noted are on in Exhibit A.
That's
If you want to know, does anybody want to know what parcel's there?
yeah. Christina, you do.
They're the choice therapy, because they have to be commercial buildings, they're choice therapy, the post office and the old Roosevelt building. And bank.
Do we, is that one on the abatement like that? Do we choose that? Or does the,
It is based off of the parcel's net tax capacity listed from the county. So your financial advisor from Ellers provides the dollar amount of abatement that needs to be, the threshold that needs to be met based upon the amount of money that's actually bonded for. So I work with the county administrator to find out each parcel's net tax capacity to come up with the parcels to do the abatement.
gotcha,
So I have to identify those. It's the same process we did for the liquor stores bonding.
so the, yeah, you can't use the same ones, right?
No, you cannot. You absolutely cannot. And the city had to come up with $12,800 for this particular one. So those 3 parcels exceed that net tax capacity.
Anybody want to make them?
Motion to approve resolution 2021-17, calling for the public hearing on the property tax abatements.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any discussion on it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Passes.
E is resolution 2021-18. This is the resolution designating the municipal golf course fund as a special revenue fund. This was discussed in detail at the last work session.
Awesome.
Sorry.
No, motion to approve.
I'll
Counselor,
motion to approve resolution 2021-18. The resolution designating the Blackduck Municipal Golf Course Fund as a special revenue fund.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion. Makes it better for
Everybody.
your housekeeping.
Sure.
Bookkeeping.
Sure.
Yeah, okay, well, if it makes the state happier.
Makes the state happier.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? 0.
Okay, letter F is just your final approval. I included the master lease agreement and supporting documents from TCF Bank for the golf carts. Provided the special meeting that we held. I felt it necessary to provide the council with all the documentation that was done from that point to now on the golf cart lease. So I'm just asking for final approval on this next.
Yep. Did you want to state which, what the little hangups were?
No,
Kind of a little, no?
I don't think there's anything to mention. No, everything went fine. That's what you pay me for.
Yep, and Joe. Okay, final approval. I would move that we approve the lease agreement for the cards
Thank you.
with, you want me to say Huntington, or is it not Huntington? It's,
It is technically Huntington
Huntington
Bank.
Bank.
TCF is no longer, but a lot of their
okay,
documentation still says TCF.
so then we'll, motion to approve the lease with Huntington Bank for the golf carts.
Thank you.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? None passes.
And then the last piece on the golf carts lease is a resolution for the lease that is part of this packet. that also needs your authorization. So the way I have it stated in your agenda should be the way that your motion is.
I approve the resolution authorizing the negotiation and execution and delivery of the lease of the golf carts from Huntington National Bank.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion on that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes.
Okay, letter H is resolution 2021-19, approving a temporary removal of a council member and declaring a temporary vacancy due to council member Oslin's absence. Thank you. Running out of words tonight.
Okay.
So you gotta have that approved.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, approve that.
Yep. That was in the form of a motion, Don?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 2021-19 to.
Temporary removal of a council member and
Yeah.
declaring a temporary vacancy.
That's what I was.
Okay, sounds good. Noted.
I had to scroll down for a second.
Any,
I'll second that motion.
We're getting there.
Okay, discussion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Passes.
All right, letter I is resolution 2021-01, another revision of the annual appointments. What I did was I removed Sheldon, and then we had two volunteers step up and sit on the Park and Trail Board. Sandra Miller, who's a resident of the city. She also works up at the forestry office. And Megan Klein is also Charlie's daughter and a kindergarten teacher at the school, want to sit on the Park and Trail Board. And then I opened up the HRA seat from Sheldon. And I think that was the only other board seat he was sitting on at this time.
Quick question, Christina.
Yes,
Do we
Jason?
want to still move forwards with this, even though you're gonna have to do it again next month?
I'd like to get a meeting of the Park and Trail Board moving. So yes, I
Makes sense.
have no problem doing another revision in September, but I want to get Megan and Sandy going so that we
Makes
can meet.
sense.
When did we make the Park and Trail Board?
When was it?
We didn't make one.
It's always been
Yeah.
created by the ordinance. It's been an annual appointment forever.
We just never held meetings.
We just never held a meeting. I shouldn't state that. The last meeting I had was around the time when the city was trying to get a legacy grant from the state to extend the walking trail over the trestle, and then the trestle burnt, and then there was really nothing done after that. I haven't met with the Park and Trail Board since before Mike got on as Public Works. Sam Christensen was still a city council member. So it's been probably since 2015 that the board has even met. But it's always been established.
Who's on the board?
On your resolution right now, it states, currently it's Mike, myself, and prior council member was Sheldon, and the other person was Chris Grant.
Other than that,
We're taking Jace off.
At this time, yeah, I feel as though the urgency of the need for the Park and Trail Board to meet, we need to have participation.
Yes, active participation and interest, and
Correct.
people need to be here. Absolutely. Okay,
All motion to approve resolution 2021-19 2021-01, revised resolution for annual appointments and designations for 2021.
Motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the rest of what I have underneath me are some dates of note.
Some.
You guys say this to me every month. It's my fault, there's a lot to do. The Blackduck Development Corps meets here at City Hall on August 11th at 11 a.m.
And folks should be showing up early to that one? No, that's the,
That's the subcommittee.
right,
Yeah,
that's the meeting, right?
correct. August 18th at 12 p.m. Restaurant 71 is the next meeting of the Blackduck Area Chamber of Commerce. August 18th at 2 p.m. is the next meeting of the Blackduck Planning Commission here at City Hall. August 19th at 9:30 a.m. I will, here at City Hall, the ambulance board will be meeting. There's no joint powers that
No, we're not until
October, I
pretty
think.
much found it was on.
Yeah. I think it's every quarter. August 25th at 1 p.m., I would like to call a finance committee meeting for the 2022 budget. I'm a little behind on some of my worksheets for that, so I'm pushing it off a little bit.
Is, who we,
Currently, it's myself, Mike, and Councilor Cole. So I would most likely need a volunteer to sit on that committee at that time. And it should be a council member.
yeah,
I can do it.
Nick?
Nick, you want this one?
Okay. Thank you, Nick.
Nothing would make me.
Because the finance stuff, everybody, you should
Participate
you
at
should
least once,
participate in it
once a
sometime.
year, you
At
should
least
participate.
once.
It's not kind of like pulling, a root canal or anything, but.
It's not that.
Moving down, August 26th at 6 p.m. is the Blackduck Fire Protection Annual Meeting of Towns. That will be here at City Hall. I've also provided the packet. I just got it assembled today. September 6th is Labor Day, so City Hall will be closed in observance of that holiday. So that means the next Blackduck City Council regular meeting is September 7th at 6 p.m. and that's a Tuesday for your information. And that's it, unless council has any questions for me.
No, I don't even think specifically for you.
Do we not have a work session this month?
Did I not put a work session on there?
I
Holy
thought we were
buckets.
lucking out there, but. Oh, man.
Thanks, Mike.
How did I do that? Shoot. Well, it would be 2 weeks from today. So what is that? I don't have my phone with me. The 23rd? 16th, 7th, 23rd. Sorry, you're not getting out of here that easy.
Not an early Christmas present.
Not at all. That was 23rd. At
So that
6
would be
p.m.
that Monday right after the bash at the
That would be correct, yes.
Okay.
I do apologize. I missed that.
bash scramble work session.
Yep.
A lot
Okay.
of water.
Thank you, Mike. Couldn't have gotten them through the night with everything perfect.
What a team play.
Wow.
Me.
It would have been really great to have the finance committee prior to the work session. I think that was kind of my plan, but there's just so much going on in the next 2 weeks between community events and other meetings.
It has been really busy.
Yeah, that's the closest I could probably figure out when to do it.
Woodcarvers had a pretty good turnout.
Oh, yeah, I did.
The library did very good for their book sales too.
The car show, then we had there was a community picnic. Who puts that on?
Legion did.
Was it Legion?
Nice to get out and meet newer people. Or
Good to see you. Jason, you got anything?
I do. Today will be my last day representing the city and sitting on this board with these fine people. We have taken a job and we are moving to Florida in the next couple of weeks.
That's fast.
Yeah, the house went on the market, Saturday, had a showing Sunday, have another showing Tuesday.
second day after.
Wow.
So it's going quick.
I wish your family well. Congratulations. I hope you guys are happy.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad. This has been a real eye opener and a real good experience, you know, a lot of good friendships.
Good luck, Jason.
No, thank you.
And we thank you for sitting here. It's not always easy.
Oh, no.
So should I have to re-update all the assignments?
Yeah, so
That was part of the conversation.
that's where I said, don't worry, Don. Your name's gonna show up.
You're about
Nick is going, great. Now what am I on?
The deck will shuffle again.
Yeah, hopefully you guys get more interested parties.
And didn't you know you couldn't leave unless you filled your space?
Oof.
Yeah.
That would be tricky.
Zoom? No, that won't work. You'll be on.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
be a $2,000 twice a month bill.
For you.
To fly back and
Yes,
forth.
for you.
Or you, that $50 you make?
That'll be a write-off.
All right. Do we have anything else?
Go through the community events.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, as we noted earlier, Backwoods Bashes, August 21st. Flyers have been out. Committee's been working their heart out, so.
We put it on the pond.
And I
too. We
dare
put it
you
on
to
the
come
sign.
dunk me. That's my official right there. It has been dared.
It's there tonight.
Yep.
Um,
I'm on the booth,
I'll pay the
Two-
$10.
2 o'clock, 2 o'clock, you can pay it $20 and come dunk the mayor.
Pay the $20 to push the
$20
buttons.
if I pull
There's
my
also
license.
there's also a request for a tug of war team. They're invited to participate. If anybody wants to form a tug of war team,
There you go, Mike.
you know, you gotta get a hold of Nita.
Public Works.
Come on.
My memory is not
Team
really
event
the
here.
greatest, but I can't remember if it was Backwoods Bash or another thing. But did they used to have like a fireman scramble as well, where they would have the fireman games?
It was the water wars, with a keg of beer.
Yeah.
Not a beer, empty keg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that what that zip line or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever?
that's what
Yeah.
the zip line is.
Okay, okay.
It was replaced with tug of war.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's been a few years.
Yeah, the drink scramble is that Saturday, so,
Sunday.
sorry, thank you, Sunday.
Sunday.
Saturday.
What tee off is that? 10:30?
Yeah.
11?
Start time at 11:30.
Pretty much when Heidi gets up.
And then I thought it would be nice to put in some feedback. This was on one of the envelopes from a camper at Country Park. So
Yes, I saw that. I was,
figured I'd give that to you guys in your packets. You can see that, you know, although we have some obstacles and some challenges to improve the park, there are some people out there that really love it.
It is a nice.
Yeah, I just took a leisurely stroll through it yesterday, and it's very clean, very well maintained.
Looking at wood chips, is there a playground or?
Makes it shine, right?
Hey,
really quick, the
I will make
final,
my final motion to adjourn.
second, motion a second, we are adjourned.
Thank you.
Did you ever get a chance to look at that light, Mike? Took a video of it.
Yeah, I was, I saw, yeah, what's on the list from when Todd comes.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll be, in contact with